Good evening, I'm Dana Tyler. Revealing new information about the suspected terrorist accused of planting bombs in New York and New Jersey this weekend. CBS 2 News has learned that this is not the first time the FBI has heard of Ahmad Khan Rahami. 2 years ago, neighbors say they heard Rahami's own father call him a terrorist. Also today, stories of heroes. We will hear from one of the Linden police officers shot in New Jersey yesterday, and we caught up with the two men who likely prevented another explosion. Let's start tonight with CBS 2's Hazel Sanchez with new information about the suspect. Hazel.
Dana, Ahmad Rahami's father has been coming and going in and out of his family's home behind me, each time talking to reporters about that conversation he had with the FBI 2 years ago. He said, yes, he called his son a terrorist, but he said that comment was misinterpreted by a neighbor, and he doesn't believe his son has any terror ties. Bombing suspect Ahmad Khan Rahami drew suspicion about his possible terror ties 2 years ago when neighbors heard his father calling him a terrorist. Today, outside the family's Elizabeth home, Mohammed Rahami told reporters he spoke with federal investigators about his son in 2014.
I called the FBI 2 years ago. And what did you tell them? I told them you got a connection with this guy.
Now Rahami says he doesn't think his son is a terrorist. Law enforcement sources say in 2014, the FBI interviewed the father who recanted his story, saying he called his son a terrorist because he was hanging out with the wrong crowd and had stabbed his own brother during a family argument.
He stabbed my son, he hit my wife, and I put him in the jail 2 years ago.
At the time, federal investigators found no evidence Rahami was a terror threat. Officials say he had just returned from one of at least 3 trips to his native Afghanistan. Former Homeland Security Advisor Fran Townsend says investigators are now tracing his steps there.
Who did he meet with? Where did he go? Is this the trip where he was radicalized? Because, of course, investigators tell us that talking to people here, when he came back after that trip, he grew a beard. He seemed to be more anti-American, those sorts of clues.
But those clues still didn't raise red flags. Authorities even interrogated Rahami's former girlfriend and mother of his 9-year-old daughter, who lives here in this Edison, New Jersey home. Next-door neighbor Edward Rogalski says he's doubtful she knew anything about Rahami's extremist ideals. You never saw this guy, did you?
No.
Investigators say when Rahami was arrested in Linden, New Jersey Monday, he was carrying a notebook with extremist writings about al-Qaeda, Osama bin Laden, and the radical cleric al-Awlaki, and handwritten plans to leave pipe and pressure cooker bombs in the street. Counterterrorism expert Joseph Ryan believes communication gaps between intelligence agencies allowed Rahami to slip through.
All those little items should be alerting us to someone, but we need some kind of way of collecting that and putting that into a system and saying, watch this person.
Rahami is charged with 5 counts of attempted murder of a law enforcement officer along with weapons charges. He remains hospitalized tonight and is being held on $5.2 million bail. We're live in Elizabeth, New Jersey tonight. Hazel Sanchez, CBS 2 News.
Thank you, Hazel.